we can't overlook that, and we know West Virginia is going to come ready to play.
How good of a learning experience maybe was this last weekend, and facing a little bit of adversity there in the last 2 games? What can that do for y'all going forward?
Yeah, coming from a mid-major school, I kind of knew that they were going to be ready to fight. I didn't really understand how much they were going to fight like they did, because at the end of the day they were sub 500, and so we did kind of overlook them a little bit, and we were lucky to get out of there with the season's not over.
How do you guys kind of deal with the heat, obviously, especially tomorrow?
A lot of water. Coach does a good job at kind of integrating water stations, a lot of rest, a lot of hydration. He does good with that kind of thing.
Danny, can you talk about the confidence, like when you have like Anthony and Caden, it sets up really well for like this format, right? The super regional format. Talk about the confidence that this team plays with them on the mound.
Yeah, we know that when they're on the bump, we're going to be in the game. As an offense, we try and scratch and claw for 6 runs, 7 runs. We know that if we can score that amount of runs, we know that we have a very good chance of winning the game.
On that double play ball in the second inning, what was sort of your read on that play, and how important did you feel like just to get that double play, just to get it in there?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge. Kind of just try and make the routine play the routine play.
What did you think of the lineup changes on Monday and how that opened up the offense for y'all?
Yeah, I liked it. Just kind of going for it. I trust Coach with my life, so just kind of being able to do me and be able to let other people do them, and trusting Coach with whatever he decides to do.
What's kind of the messaging, I guess, now that you've gotten the last weekend under your belt and kind of get a feel for being back at the box, playing in this atmosphere? What's Coach telling you?
Have fun, relax, play our brand of baseball. Don't play the opponent, play LSU baseball, and just enjoy the experience.
What kind of tear is Ethan on right now?
It's pretty fun to watch. I will say that. We're roommates on the road, and so I hope that we can room one more time in Omaha. But, he's incredible. He's an incredible human being, and it's fun to see him succeed.
Kason Evans coming off of his best performance, to have almost like a 3-headed monster now, how much confidence does that give y'all, especially if you do clinch your ticket to Omaha this weekend?
A huge amount of confidence. He's a young freshman. He went through his battles. We all do. And it's nice to see him succeed as well, just like Ethan.
Does Ethan smile ever?
Yes.
Seems like a serious guy.
Yes, he is very serious when he's playing, but off the field, when we're on the road, we always walk to food, go get Chipotle or something like that after practice. But yeah, he's a really cool guy to be around.
Do you know anything about him?
Every now and then. Not often though.
You really like Chipotle.
I love Chipotle. At Chipotle, follow me on Instagram. Give me an NIL deal, please. I spent way too much money on you guys.
Do you know anything about West Virginia? What to expect out of them this weekend?
I don't know. We've kind of just really looked at the starter from Friday, so that's about it.
No friends on the team?
No, that's a long ways away from home.
How about just college baseball right now and seeing kind of, I guess, the parity or any team being able to beat any team?
Yeah, it's weird. I've been asking some of the older guys, like JP, when's the last time this has kind of ever happened? And he was like, honestly, this is a surprise to me as well. So, we know that everyone's going to come ready to play, and everyone has good players, so it's just exciting.
Going through what you experienced last weekend, the loss on Sunday and having to come back Monday, how does that make you a better team?
I think just knowing that every team's ready to play you, every team has competition, every team has good players, and they're coming ready to advance their season.
Defensively, you and Steven have been pretty locked down for most of the season. Do you feel like that's an area that you all have been a little overlooked in throughout this season, and it seems like it's catching on here the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Coach Johnson takes a lot of pride in defense. To be honest, I don't really watch a whole lot of interviews or anything like that. I try and stay off of the Twitter and the internet and stuff like that, especially around this time. But, me and Steve are just trying to go out there and make every play for Kason or Cade or Anthony or any pitcher that comes out of that bullpen. We're just trying to make plays for them and then go get them runs on the offensive side.
What's the key to a smooth defense? Just obviously seeing it early and moving your feet?
Rhythm, finding a good hop, knowing where you're going with the ball depending on where it's hit before it's actually hit. There's a lot of things that kind of go into it. A lot of practice off the field, behind the cameras. you kind of just think about where you're going to go with the ball before it's hit, and then as soon as it's hit, good rhythm, a lot of confidence coming and attacking the baseball and making the right play.
How about when they shift you and the ball goes where you would have been? What's the feeling then?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We shift to be where the ball is going to be hit when the ball's hit hard, and so baseball's a weird sport, and sometimes you just get lucky and you find a hole.
What's that like to be on the other end of it, though?
Awesome. You're like, I'll take that hit whenever you can.
What did Skip Bertman tell y'all after the game on Monday?
He said, great job, very proud of you. Just keep going, and you guys are a very great team. And to hear that from someone who has so many national championships under his belt is very special, and we take a lot of confidence in listening to him.
You mentioned that these are the moments that you come to LSU for. Obviously, you have to get 2 more wins to get there. But if y'all were able to do that and you are hitting Omaha, what would that mean, especially for you, like coming here?
Truly a dream come true. As a baseball player in high school, you always just play summer baseball and you kind of play with your friends. I remember that everyone was going on a senior trip, and instead of my senior trip, I was on a travel ball team with the same kids since I was like a freshman in high school, and we all decided to go to Omaha, and we played in a tournament that was like around that area, and so we stayed 10 minutes away in a hotel. We played when we could, and I actually went to the national championship game 1, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, and I remember taking a picture in front of the statue in front with my mom, and I tell her every day, I'm like, I'm playing for you, I'm playing for this team, I'm playing to get back there so we can recreate that picture.
West Virginia's not a great fielding team. How can y'all maybe capitalize on that?
I didn't know that. If they can't field the baseball, a lot of ground balls, a lot of hard hit baseballs, fly balls are the easiest balls to play, so if we can stay on top of the baseball and hit balls hard, low and hard, that's kind of be a good recipe for that, I guess.
Tell me more about your mom. She's a single mom?
Yeah, she's the best. She's a single mom. I was actually born by an anonymous insemination donor, and so I've never had a father figure. I'm an only child as well, so my mother is literally my rock. She's at every single game. I remember in high school, I kind of took it for granted of her being at all my games. She's never missed a game. She has every single home run ball up until this year, so it's kind of hard to get those from other people. But she's been at every single game, and I remember in my senior year of high school, I took it for granted, and then I went to fall at Utah Valley, and she wasn't in the stands, and I realized that was kind of like my relaxation before a game. I don't know if you guys see, but after I pray, I always give the I love you hand signal to her up in the stands, and so it's kind of just our thing and my appreciation to her being there in the stands every single time.
Where she live?
Like 10 minutes down the road, in an Airbnb. Yeah, she just stays here the whole season. She's retired.
That kid got 2 balls. You should have given him 1, right?
It's okay.
It seems like on paper they're pretty aggressive on the base paths. How do you counter a team that's aggressive on base paths?
As a pitching staff, get the leadoff man off, get him out first. If the leadoff man is out, then it's hard for them to bunt, it's hard for them to steal because they already have their backs against the wall. And then as a defensive side, just play fast catch, take care of the baseball, and eliminate the big innings.
Do you rep that in practice like before? Like if you guys are going into a game and you know that a team is aggressive on the base path, like you rep like being fast more?
We just know that we have to take care of the baseball, and then on a pitching side, just the mentality of this leadoff guy is going to be out.
Coach said he's been telling y'all this tournament's like wide open.
Yeah.
What's y'all's perspective of that based on what he said and how you've seen the tournament play out to this point?
Yeah, like I said about Little Rock, we kind of took that a little bit too far. We thought, okay, Little Rock, whatever, we got them. And then they kind of hit us pretty hard, and we came back on Monday and took care of business. But when we hear wide open, it's just a confidence builder. He's trying to let us know that if we play our brand of baseball, we can achieve our dreams.
Time for 2 more, if necessary. All good?
We're good again.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Good luck. Appreciate it.
Steven, how good did you feel after your regional performance, kind of finding your bat again, I guess? And then what did you think was maybe the difference maker in that as you had some success in the pro?
Yeah, I feel really good. I got in the cage with my dad a lot. He came down early last week and just kind of got back to the basics and what I did my whole life growing up to get to this point, and just being patient was the biggest thing for me. And it's the postseason. This is what we came here to do, and I kind of thrive in these moments, and it's what I live for.
switched a couple things up too. The walk up, the bat, the hair, the shoes, everything.
Yeah, something's got to go. I'm superstitious sometimes, but yeah, got a new bat, got some new cleats, and then some new hair, a couple batting gloves. So we're gonna rock with some new stuff this weekend, but just having fun with it.
What does going back to the basics actually mean for you?
I mean, I hit with my dad my whole life growing up. He knows my swing better than anybody. So just hitting off the tee, getting some soft toss, and hitting off the machine with him was, what I missed my whole life, or since I've been here. And we just did that probably for 5-6 days, and my swing felt better, and I was able to help my team win some more games.
Is he talking a lot and giving you and noticing things, or are you just sort of figuring things out with a person you're very comfortable with, or is it both?
Well, it's a little bit of both. I mean, he's not gonna sit there and overanalyze it. He knows how hard the game is, and he knows what I have to do, and he just helps me whenever I need some help.
Can you talk about just the chemistry you've had with Danny at second base and the infield defensively? It seems pretty seamless for you guys in your one season together. Just how has that grown and evolved throughout the entirety of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of chemistry. We put a lot of work in the fall together. Ground balls in the spring, and all of us taking ground balls together. Braz, me, Dick, and Bear, and just having the chemistry and the trust in each other to make a play. And if I throw a ball in the dirt, I trust Bear to pick it, and that's what he does 95% of the time.
This is about postseason baseball. You just kind of turn it on.
I love it. The lights, the fans, everything. It just means more, and to be able to have that pressure and kind of slow down in the big moments is kind of what I've always wanted, and I love playing in the postseason.
What does it mean to be getting prepared for the Super Regionals and to be 2 wins away from?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, we're taking it one game at a time, one pitch at a time, just slowing down and doing what we have to do to win one baseball game at a time.
Danny talked about how you guys overlooked Little Rock a little bit. How do you avoid that facing the West Virginia team?
You just take it one pitch at a time. I mean, we're going to try and throw the first punch and be aggressive with certain stuff and play our brand of baseball and just keep putting the foot on the gas.
You have home run hitting power, but you also you get on base a lot. Facing a team that's not as good defensively, do you kind of get excited knowing you're facing a team and you can basically hit it all over the yard?
Yeah, I would say a little bit. Just trying to apply that pressure to them and kind of make them feel you. As a 1 through 9 offense to all of our guys, just applying pressure is going to be a big thing for us, and forcing them to take care of the baseball.
How about the job Kate and Anthony have done for you guys? Kind of setting the tone as the starters of these games.
Yeah, I mean, I know it wasn't fun when I faced them in the fall and in the spring, so they've done a really good job. They both really mature, and they know what to do, and they're always in the gym working out. It's even after Kate throws 110 pitches, he's right back to it, and that's why he's been so successful this year. They work the hardest I've seen anybody work.
Talks a lot about Chris. I mean, we see it, I guess, with Kate and his ability to bulk up and loss. But like from a guy that was in shape last year before he got here, what has Chris done for the game?
Stanfield, correct?
Martin.
Oh, Martin. Yeah, he's been really good. He's like a little kid with us. He'll stay honest, knows what we need to do, tells us what we need to do, and he's very strict. We had a 9 a.m. workouts this morning, and he was honest. Helps us a lot. He's just another good brain to pick from, and he's always there for us whenever we need him.
How about the heat? I guess playing in this, obviously today's the hottest it's been for you.
Yeah, just hydrating a lot. Coach had a couple hydration stations, just pounding the water and then having good electrolytes and rest. That's a big thing for us. I mean, we got a lot of stress on our starters, so a lot of us are resting and just getting fresh to go at it again this weekend.
He asked you about Cade and Anthony. When they're on the mound, like how much confidence does that give you on defense and even at the plate, knowing that you may not have to produce as many runs to get a win?
Yeah, I still feel confident in everybody pitching, but I mean, you got a two-headed monster, but you still got to put runs up. You still got to play the game of baseball. Nothing changes just because you got 2 guys on the mound. We try and play as perfect as we can. That doesn't always happen, but just applying pressure still, taking good at bats. Trying to get the starter out of there, get to their bullpen. That's just our big thing, and playing the LSU brand of baseball that we know how to play.
Do you talk to Casey at all, kind of being in these shoes last year, where there was some, obviously as a freshman, you're trying to make something happen and keep your head in swimming?
Yeah, I've talked to him a little bit. He's very mature for his age. Talks to Cade and Ant and a lot of the older guys that have been there and done it. So he's got a good head on his shoulders. But I mean, I just tell him to slow down and just take it one pitch at a time whenever he's pitching. He's a one of the best pitchers in the country, and whenever he executes, everybody's out, and that's just what I try and keep him at.
How much work were you able to put in preseason at short? I mean, we obviously know you missed a lot of the fall, injury, illness, but I mean, at short you've made, I think, 3 or 4 errors all season. You had that whole fall to really kind of lean into the spot. Just what kind of work went into that and getting ready for that new role for you?
Yeah, I've always taken a lot of ground balls with my dad back home. Always done like hand drills and just some footwork. And I went back home in December for probably 2 weeks and just did the basics, what I always did in high school, and kind of got back to playing over there. And then spring came, I was bouncing around a little bit, and then kind of just got thrown at shortstop a little more often, and then just kind of ran with it, and that's just how it's been. Always worked hard on ground balls, and my defense took pride in it, but now I feel like it's showing a lot more, and people see that. But the work's been done, and everything's in the basket now.
What is the secret to some solid, smooth defense?
I would say a lot of instincts, being very instinctive, and not afraid to make an error. I like the ground ball hit to me. I want to make that play to end the game. I like the ball being in my hands, and that's kind of how it always has been. And I've taken pride in that with my dad since I was little. I remember on the 12U national team, I had to go play right field because I couldn't feel the ground ball. And ever since then, me and my dad were like, that's not going to happen again. And we haven't had that. We haven't let that happen.
Does your dad play ball?
He did. He played ball until he was 12. His dad played ball, but his dad passed away. So yeah, little father son.
How'd y'all kind of get back on track in the second or third, whatever inning it was that Little Rock scored 5 on Monday, and Coach came and talked to y'all after a couple of defensive miscues?
Yeah, it's just slowing down. Game kind of sped up on us a little bit. He took a good timeout, got us to slow down and get back to who we were, and we were able to execute, get out of the inning, applied pressure on offense, didn't get a run, applied pressure again. Ethan hit that 3-run RBI double. He's been really good, taking good at-bats for us and helping us in a big way, and that's just kind of how it is. Just keep applying pressure, and make them feel you, and eventually it'll break.
When you're in the middle of watching an outing like that from Kaysen in the field, just what goes through your head? At one point it was 9 straight strikeouts. Yeah. Just was mowing through guys.
I mean, you get excited. They're not scoring. You're scoring runs on offense, putting up good at-bats. It's just good baseball, and that's kind of what we've been doing all year, and it's exciting. When he's on, he's, like I said, one of the best pitchers in the country, and we have a bunch of confidence in him, Zach, and anybody who we run out there. But he gave us a real good performance on Monday.
What does it mean to be this close to the dream of going on 2 wins away? What has this goal been like for you? What does it mean to be this close?
It feels like a dream come true. I honestly haven't really put much thought into it until I get there and I step on that field over there. But I'm gonna give everything I got to these guys, and we're gonna go out there this weekend and give it everything we got. And I have no doubt in my mind that we're the best team in the country when we put on this uniform, and we're gonna keep playing LSU brand of baseball, and hopefully we'll be there in Omaha.
What have you seen in Ethan's at bats that's given him a lot of success?
I mean, the guy's put 2 years of work in the hay, and he got hurt last year, played on the Natty team, and he didn't get too many at bats. But I mean, he's been there. He's lived through other guys, seen it all, and that's what's paying off now. He's a grinder. I was here in the summer, and he was right there with me, working out and doing everything. And seeing his success come to life is awesome. I mean, a lot of kids would have transferred, would have been somewhere else, and he stayed, and that's really big kudos to him, and separating his ego, I would say, from LSU. And now look at him. I mean, he's one of our best hitters, one of our best players, and he's been clutch for us, and we really need him.
What do you know about West Virginia?
I have no idea about anything in West Virginia. I know they got a couple good starters, and that's about it. I mean, we're playing LSU brand of baseball, and whoever we match up with is who we match up with. And I believe that we got the best team in the country and the best shot to win the game.
How'd you connect with Fredo?
He hit me and Tommy up last year. I think I hit the walk-off homer, and he hit us up. He came to a game at the box this year, and then we've just been hanging out. Like, we went to go hit yesterday, just messing around with my friends back home. But he's a cool guy. We listen to his music and stuff, and it's kind of cool to see all the Baton Rouge love.
How'd you do your hair this time?
I just did the same tiger stripes. I didn't have Sydney do it. She was sick. I had my barber do it, but it's just the same thing. Just having fun with it. I'm like a little kid with this stuff.
It seems like Jay comes to the on-deck circle sometimes. What are those conversations like? And it's like, how much of it is like scouting, or how much of it is like, hey, just like taking extra breaths, slowing things down? Like, how much is it just more feel versus strategy?
Yeah, it's more just kind of being in the moment. Whatever the game calls for is kind of what he's trying to talk you through and slow you down, and you be mentally focused on this one pitch or whatever he's wanting you to do. He just knows how to slow people down, and he's a really good coach, and that's why he's gotten here and won a national championship and been here before. He's really good at knowing the game.
Is it weird at all when you think about this could have been the game y'all played in last year? It's the same opponent and whatnot.
I mean, it is. It hurt last year to lose to North Carolina like that, and I mean, you see it, but we're just trying to take it one game at a time, and it's a different year, new team, and I feel like we're a lot better than we were last year, and that's showing a lot.
Thanks, Steve.
Of course, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.